Hello. Can y'all see me yet? There's a delay here. Okay. Hello. So many people are awesome, and I'm so grateful for you watching. And oh my goodness, there was a lot that came of Tuesday's Facebook Live. And so I am eager to get into more of the details and why our lives can be so dramatically different and how our lives can improve dramatically. So on Tuesday, I shared that there was a rock bottom for me. That was when I was thinking, this is wrong. Everything is wrong. I am so overwhelmed. I can't function like this. Something is seriously wrong with me. And I believe that to my core. And what I've now learned on the other side of that was that there was nothing wrong with me. Nothing at all was wrong with me. My mind was functioning exactly as it was supposed to be because the way I was thinking was producing specific emotions in me, which made me feel exactly the way that I felt because of the thoughts I was thinking. So there is a bigger picture, and I want to share that with you today. So I've got a little notepad for you, and let's see if the camera will focus in on this. I don't know if we've got too much highlighting here on the paper. Okay, what we've got are circumstances that we've got in our life. Those are things that we do not control. They're outside of our control. They just happen. There are our thoughts about our circumstances. Those thoughts produce feelings. Now, I know a lot of people are all like, oh, feelings. I don't want to talk about my feelings. And yeah, I'm just not a person that talks about my feelings. And I don't want to be emotional. You know, all of those type of things. And believe me, I've said all of it. But the truth is, we are creative and we are creating at all times because we are thinking at all times. So when you think thoughts, you create emotions. Those emotions and those feelings, I don't know if you can still see this, those feelings produce actions that we take. All of our actions produce results in our life. So let's go through this one more time. Circumstances are things we do not control. We can't control them. All of these other things are things that we can control. Our thoughts about our circumstances, our feelings are produced by our thoughts. Our feelings generate our actions, and then our actions produce our results. This blew my mind. I didn't realize this was the way the world worked. I thought when I am spinning out of control and my thoughts are just kind of going haywire, that it was out of my control, that I was feeling anxiety because I couldn't stop the storm in my mind. The truth is, I could have if I'd known how. How? By finding different thoughts to believe. So if you, for example, let's say there's a circumstance that someone has died that you love and you don't know about it. That circumstance has not yet affected you because you've not had a thought about it. Okay? The moment you have a thought about it, all of a sudden, that's going to generate a feeling for you. You love them, you don't like the fact that they've died, and that it's real feelings are created from that. Those feelings drive actions in the way that you will talk about them afterward or whatever, and then the results. So circumstances are always independent. They're always neutral. This is so important, y'all, because when, oh my God, I was out of control in my own mind. So what I've done is I've written down a few other examples of situations and how I handled them and the reason why I got the results that I got. Okay, so stick with me. The circumstance, I could tell you the whole story about how I didn't like what was going on, and there were like a series of things that happened that I didn't like, and that led to this. But that's the story around the circumstances. Circumstances, for example, If I say it's 78 degrees outside, that's a circumstance. If I say it's hot outside, that's a judgment that I'm making about the circumstance, and that's a thought, not the circumstance. Okay, so the circumstance was I'm taking care of my children alone. They're crying and resisting direction from me. So my thoughts were, I'm so sick of this. They're not cooperating. I hate this. What that thought did for me was it generated a feeling of frustration. So out of that frustration, my action was that I would handle them roughly. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not proud of it, but I have jerked my daughter's arm or I have laid her down forcefully. It's like I tell you, it's not something I'm proud of, but I did exactly what my brain was telling me to do because I was frustrated. And so my action was from a point of frustration. The result of my thought and my feeling and my action was that I was ashamed that I would handle my daughter so roughly and so carelessly without love. And it's so easy to now look on that and think, oh, I shouldn't have done that and feel guilt. But here's the thing. If I feel guilty and then that's like a whole different scenario. If I start feeling guilty over something, my actions are going to generate results that I'm not proud of. So now, after having gone through this enough times and rewiring the way that my brain responds, whenever I'm alone with the kids and I'm having a really difficult time connecting and giving instruction that they connect with, that some people would say obeying, what I choose now to think is, I love them. And I am so, so glad that I get to be the one to model peaceful behavior to them in conflict so that they see they don't have to be out of control, that they can be calm and they can get through this. They're gonna get through it. Y'all, it's changed my world. That thought of I love teaching them to peacefully deal with conflict generates the feeling of gratitude for me. I'm grateful for my babies and I'm grateful that I get to lead them through this. What that feeling of gratitude does, it allows me, my action is to patiently guide and redirect them. Y'all, that's so different than it was before when I would just handle them roughly because I was frustrated, okay? The result is they calm down and the situation is diffused. Some of you might be thinking, I'm oversimplifying the way that the world works. I am not. And I invite you to challenge me on this. So if we're going to geek out on our brain for just a second, when we think a thought, it happens up in the higher brain, our prefrontal cortex, and it's a higher functioning thought. This requires a lot of energy for things to go on up here. This is when you're learning new concepts. That's a lot of energy. The brain was designed to be as efficient as possible to do its job quickly. So when it's doing all this work here, it's hard and it gets exhausted. Once we've believed a thought or once we've practiced a thought long enough, it goes back into the back part of our brain, in the middle brain, where it's just automatic and it's a habit and we don't even have to think about it. The implications for this are huge because a lot of times we feel feelings and we don't know where our anxiety is coming from. We don't know where our frustration is coming from specifically. We're so confused about it. That's because we have practiced it so many times, it's on autopilot. Now, it is very possible to find out where that frustration originated from, but here I'm looking at my stuff. I don't have a timer. Y'all, I'm gonna try to keep this short. Oh, no, I did start a timer. Sorry, I'm almost up. 10 minutes is almost up. So the reason why that's important is because when we want to change our actions, we want to change our behaviors, we're striving, we're not happy with the results we have. But the implications of this, circumstances are independent, thoughts create our feelings, create our actions, create our results. If we are not happy with the results that we have in our life, with anything, with our situation, with just, you fill in the blank, the thing that you dislike most about your life, that came directly as a result. Here's my timer. Came as directly as a result of your thoughts. Please don't use this as an opportunity to blame yourself if you're not happy with it. There are many things in our life that we have created that we are proud of. Those also came from our thoughts, and it's so empowering. This gave me back responsibility for my own life. No longer can I ever, with integrity, make the statement, they made me so mad, or I can't even believe they've done this and they've devastated me, or anything like that. I can't ever blame somebody else for how I'm feeling. Why? They're not powerful enough to make me feel a certain way. Nobody is. That would be mind control. They would be in your mind forcing you to think things. No, when we're around people that it makes it difficult for us to be around, it's because our thinking around them is making it difficult for us. Has nothing to do with them. Y'all, this is so empowering. This means that you get to decide the thoughts that you think. I get to decide the thoughts that I think. We get to create whatever world and whatever experience we have in this world. Yes, there are going to be circumstances that are out of our control. That's a given. But the way that we handle that and create from there, we're going to create a result that's bad for us, or a result that's good for us. We get to decide. And this is the most empowering thing. Taking responsibility for my life has been a game changer in all kinds of different ways. I'm going to be covering more of those in future Facebook Lives. If there's something that you want me to talk about, to hit on, please let me know. I would love to address it. Send me a Facebook message or just text me or whatever. But I would love to do that, because when we are free from the things that are holding us back, there is no limit to what we can do. Our dreams are within our reach. If we're telling ourselves that we're stressed and we're just so anxious because we're overwhelmed, we don't have enough time and there are not enough resources, like all of those are things that are optional for us to think. All optional. And that's so encouraging for me, because I want to share that with you. I want you to see the abundance that is waiting for you, to take the limits off of our thinking so that there is nothing that is beyond our reach. If we work hard for it, it's an amazing privilege. So I hope you keep staying tuned, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, thanks.